I cannot really emphasize more, okay, on the importance of us getting out of those shells and saying that, hey, I know parenting very well. Nobody taught my mom parenting, and I also know very well, okay? So I don't need to learn parenting. Well, that's the attitude which is not gonna serve us well, because the world is changing at such a fast pace. Our kids are in a completely different environment, okay, than what we were raised in.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hey Woman Air. I hope you all are doing well. I am Nida and today we are back with another episode on Hey Woman Air with a very wonderful mom, Kushal Singhal. Kushal is a professional parenting coach. She is a founder of Cafe Viz and runs a parenting blog, Mom Chipper. So let's hear about her interesting life story and let's get some tips about parenting from her. So let's get started. Hello Kushal, welcome to Hey Woman Air. How are you doing today?
Hi Nida, I am very well, thank you, and I'm really glad to be here with you. Finally, we are meeting.
Exactly. And I'm so happy that you are here and we are doing this today. Really
Sure.
happy to meet you. Kushal, would you take a minute or two to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, definitely. I think that's a great start, that you've given me a great platform. Hi to all your viewers. My name is Kushal Singhal. I am basically a parenting coach and also the founder of Mom Chipper and Cafe Viz. These are two of my blogs where I, write about everything which is related to women and motherhood. And of course, in our lives as women and mothers, parenting is a big chunk of it takes a lot of energy and it's a big part of our lives. So parenting definitely is covered too in these two blogs. And apart from that, I'm a woman and I'm a mom to two lovely kids. And I'm a creative and a very ambitious person. I want to reach the skies. And and there's one more side to me actually, which is, I'm a trained learning and development professional. So prior to marriage and motherhood, I was training employees on various soft skills and leadership skills in the organization. So that's my story.
So that's really nice. So happy to talking to such an empowered woman who wants to reach to the skies. I love such women. Always love talking to
Thank you
such.
so much. Thank you so much. It really means a lot, and I feel that coming from a fellow, or a peer and a fellow woman is a big compliment, because till now, a lot of people think that women can't be friends, but I think it's time for sisterhood, and it's time for women supporting each other. So yeah, thank you so much.
Exactly. It's a high time for women empowering other women.
Right.
So Kushal, as you mentioned that you're a founder of Cafe Viz and you're also running Mom Chipper, which is a parenting blog. So
Right.
what has inspired you to become the professional parenting coach?
Okay. I think the inspiration, has come from my own, life, because I was a mother, and we as a couple, like me and my husband, has done a lot of different things, in our parenting, especially in our parenting. So I'll just give you a small example. Like, we don't believe in disciplining. As we were raised in traditional parenting, so there is no concept of punishment, so there's no concept of being grounded in our home. We've been very respectful, even to our kids when they were like 2 years old. I always talk to them like up, and with respect. And their opinion has always been very important for us. So in our family conversations and decisions, whatever is age relevant, we do include them. So we were right from the start, we were actually doing a lot of things which were different from the regular, that you would actually see around. So and I felt that after like my daughter became a tween, like 7 to 8 years, that is when I started actually seeing results which were different from the other children. So I found her to be extremely confident. She was like well read, she was into so much into books, and she was voicing her opinion in forums where maybe the rest of the people were not very comfortable with, like even in front of my parents, on politics, or on different things. So she knew the world. So she wasn't a kid who was who would be feeling uncomfortable in any kind of discussion, for that matter. So I felt that there were certain things which were really going right, and not just this. So after I saw that there is confidence, but then I also realized that the value system is very strongly inbuilt in my kids. So they know that these things are important in our family, and there has never been a question, because that has been logically put across to them. So I realized that yes, things are going great, okay, and I had put in a lot of energy and lot of effort, Nida. I was a very ambitious professional in a corporate world, and I left my job. My child was not in the best of the health. So completely, leaving aside my ambitions, I actually focused my energy, and I read a lot, and I wanted to find out what is the best way that I can raise my children, and I wanted them to be responsible children and not brats who are just wanting to get their work done, or getting wanting to just get gifts from everybody. I wanted them to leave a mark wherever they go. So while we had put in that energy and I saw the results coming, I felt that maybe this is the right time that I can actually now step ahead and help other parents with their challenges. And this parenting coaching certification happened in 2019, actually not very old. So 2 years back is when I finished my certification, and then I'm just helping other moms and dads too. Yes. Yeah.
That is really great. I mean, what you are doing is really great, and I think that this is a very untouched topic if we just speak about parenting. Most of the people think that it's just normal to raise kids.
Ask me. It's a big hurdle. If you actually treat it as a business, like as an entrepreneur, so you see that people are not willing to invest even their energies. Leave aside the money, right? Because of course, when you are getting into a coaching or one-to-one coaching or a group coaching, you would definitely need to shell out money, as in other courses, right? I mean, if we for our professional development, we invest. I've seen people invest in their health, but when it comes to family and relationships, it's still in very, very nascent state, especially in India. So that's a difficult task, I would say, but I'm enjoying my work. Yeah,
That's really great. I mean, so why do you think that parenting is important? Why should people invest in it?
Oh, okay. Now you have you yourself are responsible for the amount of time that I will take on this question. Okay, because this is a subject which is close to my heart, Nida, and I'll excuse me. I will say that in one sentence, if you ask me, parenting is important because, man, you are raising the next generation for this world. Okay, so, and if you go right or wrong, that's gonna have a huge impact. Okay, our generation, like you, me, and fellow women, okay, have had to go through in fact still go through a lot of issues, like sexual harassment and consent. These are the issues that we talk about right now, and we talk about because the ideas these ideas are not clearly implanted in our generation, and I will not blame just men here. Even women have a lot of issues that they need to get better on. So these whole ideas and these value system and your attitude towards life and everything, you need to start working on when kids are young, because that's a very impressionable age, because that's when they learn, because that's when they're open to inputs. Okay, and I cannot really emphasize more, okay, on the importance of us getting out of those shells and saying that, hey, I know parenting very well. Nobody taught my mom parenting, and I also know very well. Okay, so I don't need to learn parenting. Well, that's the attitude which is not gonna serve us well, because the world is changing at such a fast pace. Our kids are in a completely different environment, okay, than what we were raised in. There's so much of information, today. An 8-year-old knows so much about life and relationships that we were like, we were very naive, we were very stupid at that age, right? So to catch up, I think the only way for parents is to look inside and grow as people, upskill their parenting, learn the new ways, and then connect with their children. So parenting is, if you ever dream of having your children live in a better world, then you have to focus on parenting today, because they are the ones who will grow up and make the world tomorrow. Yeah. So yes, and after a certain age, of course, changes in personality, habit, and attitude is, you can do it, but it takes much more effort than if you actually start on the right note, right? So there are two comparisons. So if today we want to change our attitude towards certain things, it's going to take a lot more effort, it's going to take lot many conversations, right? And but if we actually give the right ideas to our kids right now, their life would be easier.
Yeah.
So that's what my beliefs are. And one more thing actually, that I want to share here is that a lot of people in India, actually not just India, maybe around the world, have this idea of parenting that parenting is all about making my child or showing the world that my child is the best. Okay, so I am focusing on, as a mom, I am focusing on that I have to show the best version of my child to the world. But hey, parenting is really not about that. Parenting is about you creating and building an adult who's able to live his life happily, make the right decisions even when you're not there, right? So as that there's one very famous quote of Leo Tolstoy, which says that the best education you can give your child is the way to lead his life. So I'm not the permanent person who's gonna stay here, but I want my children, when I'm not there, they are able to find their own answers. So I have to prepare them for that. So that is what the real objective of parenting is, to make the kids life ready even when you're not in the frame, guys.
Exactly. And now you have break a very big misconception what people have about parenting, because it's mainly that raising your kids to be the most special kid, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. So that that's what happens, right, in our drawing room conversations. Whenever I remember, whenever they were like guests at home, so sing this song or whatever your talent is, we tell the kids to do that, right? Why don't you dance on this song, show your dance to so our focus is that the world should see that our kids are very well raised. But I think we have to go inside, more internally oriented, and make them stronger from inside. That's what the purpose should be.
That is much needed into this modern arena. This is
I can't agree more. Yes.
So Kushal, like as you mentioned that parenting is very important. So what all challenges does moms have to face while rearing their kids?
Right. Okay, Nida, I think it's a very general question, and I'll try to put a structure to it. I feel that essentially there are two kinds of challenges which every mom would be facing. One is, one is regarding parenting, and the other is her personal, challenges that she would be facing as a person. So when we come to parenting, again, there are many different kinds of challenges. It's like, a different challenge with each set of different parent and child. And it is also age specific. So when you say that when it's a new mother with an infant, the challenges are that she has to put a routine to the sleep pattern of an infant, right? And then she has to focus on feeding and potty training and all those kind of things. Then the kid grows a little, there are things like the child should feed himself and be less messy. We have to teach him etiquettes and sharing of toys, and all those things come into picture. When they grow up more to be tweens, then it is they want to actually scout. Kids want to scout for information from different sources. So you have to keep their minds so they go to the right sources to find the information. So you have to actually develop that bond so that your child comes to you. So you have to focus there, and that is the kind of challenges. When it's teenage, then it is mood swings and arguments, and they don't want to agree to you. They have their own opinion and they want to do it their way. They want to make mistakes, right? Then dating and so many different things. So it is definitely age specific. And on the other hand, the second set of challenges which a mother can face is her personal challenges, which is like and a big part of it is leaving her own dreams to take care of children. Okay, or if not, then if she's still working, then managing the work and the family life together. And then taking care of her own mental health. She's at times not able to take out time for self-care. So those are the kind of challenges that she might face. Sometimes mothers that come to me come with a simple problem that I'm not able to keep up with my child. Okay, my child is talking about BTS and I don't know what it is, right? So just being in touch with whatever is happening in the world, that also is a challenge for a set of moms. So that's what. But essentially these two category of challenges, I would say, one is as for parent, as a parent, as a mother, and the second is her personal this thing. And the answer to both these problems, I would say, is that okay, the answer is that you have to look inside, okay, and work upon yourself. There is no other way. If you're facing any challenge, there are only two things that you can do. One is you accept the challenge and keep sitting and cribbing about it, and the negative thought pattern, and keep on building those things. And the second is that you take charge, okay, and do whatever it takes to straighten that out. So yeah, that is what I would say.
If I conclude everything, so it's very difficult to be a mom. It's not an easy task to raise a kid.
It is definitely not. Okay, I remember this quote, Nida. Okay, this is a very funny thing when I read first time, that we all come into motherhood without knowing anything. Okay, nobody of us knows anything about handling a child and everything. We all come into motherhood without knowing anything and wanting to know everything. I mean, we are like so obsessed with right from the first day that we want to do it the best. So we don't allow that, allow ourselves that space to make, little small mistakes. That's fine. There's so much of guilt from the society on women to be a perfect mother, a perfect, a super mom, basically, so to say. So yeah, I mean, basically, motherhood is not easy, but so is life. No, life is not easy.
But I think that mother should, if there is a job for a mother, then it should be the highest paid job, because
I bet that. But sadly, our society is not structured that way, and that's a very sad thing, because that really is a cause of so much of stress and depression also sometimes. In fact, that has been my story as well. I had actually spent 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many years not being in the best of my state, because I had to leave my job. And as I said, I'm a very ambitious person. I want to actually add value in my ways and lot of things, but I have not been able to because of circumstances and because of lack of support system at home. So I know that there are a lot of women like me, and if there is some mechanism through which we can actually appreciate moms and maybe compensate them, it will be so nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned that you have faced through such a hard time in your life, how did you cope up with that time, during that time?
I think my husband did support me a lot in that time, so at 10 years back, where my family, I saw my family, and 10 years, like today, if I see my family, there is a lot of change which has happened. There are a lot of, different belief systems that have been broken. Okay, so and I think me and my husband has worked together to break those beliefs. So it's like, in my home, it's not that breakfast is what mama makes, meetings, okay, and Papa will only work in the meeting. So it is about this time is your meeting, okay, and this time is my meeting. So one meal maybe he'll make, and the other one I'll do. So yeah, so yeah,
That's
I think those hard times just go by with the support and love of your family. And as we're talking about, motherhood being a difficult period for all the women, I would say that, alongside that, motherhood is the best feeling, and is the best space that a woman can be, because there are those two lovely little souls who are always like, for whom their mom is the topmost priority in everything. So in little things, like, if the dad will say that, chalo, let's go, mama is busy in work, let's go, we'll go on a drive. So they will first think about, whether we can just take mama also along. Papa, can we wait for 5-10 minutes? Papa, let me just ask, let me just message. So you feel so fulfilled also. So and there's a very beautiful saying that, if you will focus on the positives, okay, so there are things which are adding on to you, the love, the warmth of your children. So I think the journey becomes easier. There is always a difficult side too, but let's just keep working on that side, and keep filling our buckets from the love. And I think, yeah, that's how the journey goes on.
that's really nice. Till now, I was thinking that it's very difficult to be a mom, but now it feels like it's a blessing to be a mom.
Yeah, it's the, as I said, it's the most beautiful space to be in. Nobody can love you more than your kids, and it's both ways actually. And you can love nobody else, like you do your kids. So
Yes, exactly.
right.
Kushal, you are a professional coach. You provide trainings to parents to raise happy and capable kids. So, what
Right.
type of training do you provide? What type of suggestions, trainings, and everything?
Okay. So, in a nutshell, I have this one digital course which is called as Teen Parenting Blueprint. Okay, and I have intentionally taken the P out of parenting because I felt that P stands for pain. So it is parenting में से P हटा के parenting है. Okay, so Teen Parenting Blueprint. Okay, now this is a very simple yet very complicated way. It is just 3 steps, 3 things that you need to take care of. And once you can tick that off confidently, okay, that these 3 things you are doing nicely, at the end of the day, okay, when your kids will be all grown up, you can definitely say that I've done the best that I could. Okay, I've done my part, I've raised like decent global citizens of tomorrow. Okay, and those 3 steps I would actually like to just share, because I really want to help as many moms that I can reach, and I'm sure a lot of moms will be watching your this thing also. So those 3 steps, and this is basically a course only for parents of teens, because that teenage has very specific issues, and that is what I am focusing on right now. So the first step is setting the ground right with intentional parenting. Okay, so which means that in whatever state your relationship with your teen is right now, okay, whether you are at a stage where your teen is listening to you but not agreeing to you, or you are at a stage that when you are saying, it is not mattering to your teen, he just hears from here and just, the things go out from there, he is not wanting your advice, or you are at a stage that your teen definitely doesn't want to talk to you, he is completely shutting you out of his life. Okay, and I'm just using he as this thing, but it's both for like the girl and the boy child. So wherever, like whatever is your state of relationship, the first thing that you need to do is you need to bring that relationship to a level where you and your teen can sit down and respectfully talk. Okay, and at least there's an effort to understand the other side. Now the opinions of these two, like the parent and the teen, are very very different, because they are from different generations, and they are living in different worlds basically. Okay, but when we don't have this communication, like respectful communication, and the intent to understand the other party, the relationship can you can actually never have a bond with your child, because then you're just cutting him off, because one time he will come to you and you're not respectful, or you just make fun of him or her, or you're not even paying heed to what he's saying or what his feelings are or what his needs are, right? So he will come once, twice, thrice, okay, 10 times, because he's your child, he's living in the same house. But 11th time, it is like, it is a strained relationship. So the first step is that you have to bring that relationship, and it requires a lot of work. There are specific tools and strategies that I teach to mothers that work with teenage kids. The second thing, then, once your basic bond is built, okay, and once you are invested enough that there is respect, and your teen will at least listen to you, not agree to you, but listen to you, then you need to move on to the second step, which is helping them skill themselves, which means that you will help them choose the careers, okay, which are right for them, which is based on their strengths, which are innate in them. So there are again psychometric tools and tests which we do, okay, out of which we get to know that these are the strength themes of your child, and these are the careers. Then we map it onto careers. So help them choose the right careers, help them skill themselves rightly, okay. And the third thing, then after that, you have to come and work on their attitude, which is inclusive of value system, their life skills and habits, and their behavioral competencies, leadership, decision making, conflict resolution, everything, okay. So this is the basic structure. So one is that you work on your bond, then you help them choose the right career, and then you work on their attitude and values, okay. And once you're doing well on these three things, you are raising happy and capable kids. So that's the course. Yeah.
Wonderful. This is wonderful advice you have given. I think that this will help a lot of moms to raise their kids.
Yeah, that's what the intent is. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And the point you mentioned in mapping the career is really very important, because sometimes parents just force their kids to pursue a career which is not which they don't like.
Where is happiness now? Happiness is like your career is a very important part of your life, right? So once you're unhappy in your career, then you can't say that I'm a happy individual, because that's taking away a lot of energy and a lot of so and parents forcing especially in India, when the child is born, I have always heard these comments from my aunts and my mom and women that age, that ye is pe gaya hai, the child looks like the father, or the girl is on the mother. And I think that has built the expectations in us to see ourselves in our kids. While it is very, very important for all parents to know that your kids are not you. You are really not raising mini yous. You are raising a separate individual, a soul which is different, a soul which has a different character, which has a different karmas, right? So I mean, he is different individual. You are just there in their lives to nourish them and to help them live to their full potential. Don't try and see. ये बहुत होता था, okay? I am a maths graduate, okay? So, and my daughter doesn't like maths. She's a teenager and she hates maths to like a level, okay? And everybody used to be like so surprised. Why? You are a maths graduate? Why would your daughter not like maths? She should be like good in maths. And then my son came and he's fond of maths. So now like everybody's satisfied. Like, parents and uncles and aunts of that age, they're satisfied that okay, at least ek to hai isme gaya hai jo. But that's a very wrong habit. I think we shouldn't be looking for ourselves in our kids.
It even creates complex in kids, like if we are comparing, like your mom is a maths graduate and you're not able to do maths, so it is creating a complex, and it is
right. It affects their self-esteem. Yes, you're right.
And I'm really loving your views. I'm loving talking to you. It's really amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Because in India, I see very less people with such thoughts and views, and I think it should be changed, because they are just playing with the life of their kids.
Yes, exactly. And the worst part, as I said right at the start of the interview, that the attitude that parenting में हम क्या सीखेंगे? Parenting कब सीखते हैं? Parenting किसने सीखी है कभी, right? It just comes. So no, I mean, you have to be intentional about parenting. It doesn't work that way. That parenting will come, apne aap se. Like the day you want to behave in a particular way, you do that, and the day you are not in a good mood, you behave in a bad way with your child. Well, that doesn't work. They are individuals. They have, and that's when those baggages keep on building inside the kids. So if you are intentional, if you are intentional about that, this is my boundary, okay, I cannot violate my child, okay, so yeah, once you are intentional, so then you are raising kids who would be like much more balanced and respectful towards the world and even resources for that matter. Otherwise to theek hai, matlab chalta aa raha hai types.
Exactly. And what do you think about being strict with children? Is it a good thing or not?
Being what? Being sick. Strict. Oh, okay. Okay, no. I feel, okay, you know what my WhatsApp status is? I will just read it to you. Just 1 second, okay? And this is my status for last 2 years because I want to make a point that 1 second. Yeah. So my WhatsApp status says that sharp criticisms, okay, and rebukes almost invariably end in futility, which means that if you feel that by criticizing someone you will be able to change that person, if you feel that by criticizing someone you will be able to get what you want, if you feel that by being harsh to someone or by saying bad words or by giving negative feedback to someone you can improve that person, then you are the biggest fool of this world. Okay, because the learning and the change in behavior happens when there is learning, and learning only happens when it is an empowering environment. It can never happen with the negative feelings in the person. So if you make the other person feel bad about anything, about himself or about the action that he did, he is never going to learn. The only thing that is building in him is rebellion, bad feelings, okay, and distance. You're creating gap in between you and that child. So, and it is not true only for children. I feel very strongly because, as I said, I was in trainings like employee trainings and all. Criticism would never help anybody. You have to be like at a very, very evolved level to understand that this criticism is coming to me as a feedback, and I take only the positive out of it and leave the rest because it is not useful for me. You have to be very evolved, and generally we are not that evolved, right? When somebody criticizes us, we feel bad, and kids are abhi to, they are just learning. They are at a lower intellect level, so they, especially as far as emotions are concerned. So if we are strict, if we are disciplining, if we are giving them punishments, fear, it is the fear that we are generating and not the respect, and it doesn't give the desired results at all. In fact, what we should try, and that's what I do with my kids, that if they're doing anything wrong, my younger one today only, he just said stupid mama to me, okay, and he's just 7, he's just 7. So I sat with him and had a discussion with him respectfully that this is not what you're supposed to do. If I was like a mom which was not very evolved, I would have taken it on my ego because he said it in front of 4-5 people, stupid mama. So which I didn't like. But then you have to control your emotions and speak to your kid to make them understand rather than give them punishments.
So yeah, you have changed my view here, because sometimes I think that being strict is important. You have to be strict in some part, but yes, you are correct.
Next is routine is different, okay, setting boundaries is different, but being strict is different. So I don't buy this viewpoint that you need to punish the kids to make them come on track. No, you set boundaries, you sit with them and you tell them that this is what is acceptable, this is what is not acceptable, and then give them a humanly chance to make mistakes. Yeah, I mean, they are just kids. We also make mistakes now, and say sorry, right? So
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this. I love that. Okay, so
Right.
Kushal, you also conduct weekly discussions on Blogging Elementary. I have
Yes.
seen that. And so, what kind of discussions do you conduct, and how do they help people?
Okay. Blogging Elementary is my favorite space. Okay, and I've not actually said it enough in forums, but thanks to Akriti Mattu, okay, for giving me this opportunity to connect with so many moms who are a part of Blogging Elementary. The discussions that we have, actually, it's a Mom Chipper Thursday that we hold there, and the discussions that we have, always centered about around women and motherhood, and more so on women, and because they become motherhood is also second identity, but first they're a person themselves, so that is what we focus on. And we talk about a lot of interesting things, right from your dreams, okay, to your goals, to how to build a healthy morning routine, to um, things like how to organize your day for more productivity, and even things like sexual harassment and consent in a relationship, which are not very easy topics to have a conversation on, but we have been having these conversations, and I feel very happy with the kind of participation that BE has, and the moms on BE have. And in fact, we do have few men also who participate on like the issues that they can, like time management, productivity, and all, and even morning routine. So I feel very happy because I think Blogging Elementary is a safe space, okay, and it's a tribe of women who stand up for each other, who support each other, and most importantly, who appreciate each other. I mean, it's basically sisterhood, and it's yeah, I mean, so we actually hold hands and go through ups and downs of life, and I know that like by talking, how much can I help a person, let's say, who's sitting in another town or city, right? But I think that's a big thing, because lot many times women don't even find these platforms where they can express themselves, right? So yes, Blogging Elementary is one such platform, which gives voice to women like me, and all the other moms too. So yeah, we discuss a lot of things, and we pick up ideas from each other, we appreciate, we learn from each other, we support each other in their downs. So yeah,
I totally agree
lovely,
with
a
you.
lovely time that we spend on Thursdays, and I would urge all your viewers also to just come and see and join the community there.
Exactly. I am also a part of Blogging Elementary, and nowadays I try to spend more and more time there. It's such a positive space. I really love people connecting, people appreciating each other, and I
Hmm.
even look at your discussions, the Mom Chipper Thursday. They are
Hmm.
lovely. The decluttering one, I saw that, and the sexual
Yeah, right.
harassment. I saw them, and it's lovely, and the responses you get, the people, how people express their feelings, it's lovely.
Yeah, the way they open up, I mean, I'm so grateful to them, because it's not easy to come up with your story, and not everybody has got that courage, but I think because of the positivity and because of the encouragement from everybody around at me, and because of the comfort level that we've built over the weeks, I feel grateful that I get so many so many stories and so many different perspectives on all the issues. Yeah, and then of course it's like my weekly learning, and it's a nice time spent every Thursday there.
And I
Yeah,
would definitely urge my viewers that they would go to BE and enjoy your Mom Chipper Thursday discussions. They
thank
are
you so
awesome,
much.
and it really helps
Thank
others, because listening to other stories, um,
you.
you get
Yes,
insight.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. You have that confidence that you're not alone. Okay. So things like decluttering, let's say at home, or decluttering of mind, right? And so there are, I get responses, and I feel very comfortable that, okay, fine, I'm doing fine here. Like, I'm not the odd one out. So there is clutter at my home. In fact, the in my last interview also I said, like, the part which is visible here on the camera is always spick and span, but when I actually go a little down. There are things, because it is a house with kids, and I'm not a perfect home manager here, but yeah, I mean, I get comfort that okay, fine, there are a lot of moms like me. Yeah.
That's really nice. Okay, so Krishal, we'll come to the last question, and it is always an advice I ask. So, what advice would you like to give to all moms listening to you right now?
Oh yes, okay, my advice is actually based on my own personal experience in life. Okay, and I would just say two things to moms. Okay, one is that work on yourself and your personal growth. Okay, don't ever stop that, because in the routines and rut of the same chores that we keep on handling every day, in the house, cooking, laundry and all those things, sometimes we feel very bored, and we feel there is no motivation to to live life. But that's a very wrong thing. I think keep experimenting, keep doing different things. Go to my blog, Mom Chipper. There are a lot of ideas which I list there, for stay-at-home moms who to live a fulfilling life. So attend different workshops, learn new things, learn skills, right? And there's so many things on the internet. Learn a new social media channel, like Instagram, or if you're not there yet. So work on yourself every day. And the second advice that I have is that focus on yourself as well. I know that motherhood is the most important thing on your mind. I know that your relationship, your family is the utmost priority. It is same for me. But there is still a need to look at yourself and to prioritize yourself, to prioritize your time, your self-care, to do things that you like, to sometimes cook what you like, even though the entire family doesn't want to eat, but you want to eat, so you cook that. And so yeah, work on yourself, growth, and second is focus on yourself. Give yourself the same respect you give to others, give yourself the same priority you give to others. And yeah, I think the other things, like motherhood, your relationship with your spouse, your family, your work, all of these will fall in place once you are in the right frame of mind. And for that, these two advices will help you.
Thank you so much for such lovely advices. I hope this episode will help a lot of moms. And for all the moms who are listening, I would definitely say that if you are struggling, then you can definitely connect with the Kushal and enrolls in her training. It will definitely help you a lot, and she will help you as much as she can. And thank you so much, Kushal, for coming to Hey Women Air and sharing all your knowledge about parenting. And
thank you so much, Nida. It was such a lovely, it was a lovely experience connecting with you. And I spoke so much, before the interview. I was just collecting my thoughts a little, and yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that I did it well. So the right things are going, to your viewers, and it was a lovely experience chatting on the right things with you. I mean, your questions were very nice.
Thank you so much. It was a lovely talking to you as well. And I'm glad that we did this today. And
yes,
I hope
me too.
I hope it will help a lot of moms out there.
Yes.
So, thank you so much. So if anyone have any questions regarding this episode or from Kushal, then you can message it in comment section, or you can directly message Kushal. We have mentioned all her social profile links in the description. And till then, stay safe and stay home. Thank you.
Thank you.